What if the very things you've been chasing, happiness, success, recognition, and pleasure, were actually the very things pulling you further away from true fulfillment? Imagine spending your entire life striving for external achievements, only to discover, too late, that none of them filled the quiet emptiness within. It's a sobering thought, but it's also the beginning of wisdom. Today, we're going to explore a perspective that has stood the test of time, a philosophy that teaches us not how to gain more, but how to need less. This is the essence of Stoicism. In this video, we'll uncover 6 powerful illusions that you must stop chasing if you truly want to be happy. These are things we're often conditioned to desire. But according to the Stoics, it's only by letting go of these hollow pursuits that we can find lasting peace. We live in a world that never stops urging us to chase more. More wealth, more fame, more status, more pleasure. The messages are everywhere, on our screens, in our conversations, in our culture. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that just one more accomplishment, one more possession, or one more compliment will finally make us whole. But Stoic thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca remind us of a truth that is often forgotten. Real happiness doesn't come from acquiring more, but from needing less. It doesn't come from controlling the world. It comes from mastering ourselves. Let's look at the 6 things the Stoics say we must stop chasing to live a life of deep, grounded joy. 1. Stop chasing wealth for its own sake. Money is one of the most pursued goals in modern life. We often believe that if we just had more of it, our problems would disappear, and comfort and security would be guaranteed. But the Stoics saw wealth as neutral, neither good nor bad. Its value lies not in its presence, but in how we use it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." When we constantly strive for more, we are enslaved by our desires. Instead of enjoying what we have, we become addicted to what we don't. The more we accumulate, the more we fear losing it, and the more we crave what lies beyond. The Stoic path teaches us that freedom comes not from abundance, but from simplicity. When we release our grip on the endless pursuit of wealth, we begin to notice the richness of things we once overlooked, meaningful relationships, the beauty of nature, personal growth, and the peace that comes with living in harmony with our values. 2. Stop chasing fame and recognition. In a world that rewards visibility and applause, it's tempting to build your identity on the opinions of others. We want to be seen, liked, followed, and remembered. But the Stoics warned us about the emptiness of external validation. Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." When your self-worth depends on the praise of others, you become a prisoner to their judgment. Their approval becomes your oxygen. But what happens when the applause stops? True happiness is not built on fleeting opinions, but on inner stability. It's about being anchored in who you are, regardless of how you are perceived. The Stoics encourage us to turn inward and find contentment in our own conscience. Live in a way that aligns with your principles, and you'll find a sense of peace that no amount of public recognition can match. 3. Stop chasing pleasure. Pleasure is a natural part of life, but when it becomes the goal rather than the gift, it can consume us. Whether it's food, entertainment, or indulgent comforts, the pursuit of pleasure often leads to a shallow existence. one marked by dependency and dissatisfaction. Epictetus wisely said, "If you want to be rich, do not add to your money, but subtract from your desire." The Stoics understood that chasing pleasure creates an endless cycle. The more you get, the more you need to feel satisfied. Over time, your tolerance rises, and what once delighted you no longer brings joy. Real contentment comes from temperance, from savoring life's simple pleasures and not being ruled by them. When we stop obsessing over stimulation and start appreciating the quiet, peaceful moments, we uncover a deeper form of joy, the kind that doesn't depend on circumstances. 4. Stop chasing control over others. One of the most exhausting pursuits in life is trying to control what you were never meant to. And perhaps the most futile of these is the attempt to control other people, their thoughts, their choices, their reactions. We believe that if we can just influence those around us, life will unfold the way we want. But this mindset leads only to frustration, anxiety, and strained relationships. The Stoics teach a radical yet liberating truth. We can only control ourselves, our thoughts, our attitudes, and our responses. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. When we release the burden of controlling others, we reclaim our energy. We learn to respond instead of react. We build emotional resilience, and we begin to live from a place of inner power instead of external manipulation. 5. Stop chasing perfection. Perfectionism is often disguised as ambition, but in reality, it's a fear-driven quest. We convince ourselves that if we can just make everything perfect, our work, our relationships, our bodies, our lives, we'll finally be enough. But perfection is a moving target. The more we chase it, the further it runs. Stoicism offers a gentler, wiser alternative. Focus on progress, not perfection. Do your best, not for the applause or the outcome, but because it's right. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Accept the imperfections of life, and you'll find that they don't detract from your journey, they define it. Growth doesn't come from flawless execution, but from showing up consistently. Even when things aren't perfect, there is beauty in the struggle. There is strength in the scars. 6. Stop chasing the approval of society. We all want to belong, but when we sacrifice our values to fit in, we lose something far more precious than acceptance. We lose ourselves. Society will always have its expectations, but the Stoics urge us not to conform blindly to them. Seneca said, "Wealth is the slave of a wise man, the master of a fool." Likewise, public opinion should serve the wise, not rule them. When we constantly seek approval, we live reactively, not intentionally. But when we follow our own path, even if it's lonely at times, we gain a profound kind of freedom. Happiness is not found in imitation but in authenticity. When you live according to your principles, not the pressure of the crowd, you create a life that is uniquely yours and deeply fulfilling. The truth is, happiness isn't something to be chased like a prize at the end of a race. It's not found in the next promotion, the next purchase, or the next compliment. It's something cultivated, moment by moment, through clarity, restraint, and presence. The Stoics remind us that joy doesn't come from the outside world, but from the way we see it. When we let go of the things that drain us, wealth for its own sake, fame, pleasure, control, perfection, and approval. We make space for the things that truly sustain us: peace, purpose, wisdom, and love. So I invite you to pause and reflect. What are you ready to stop chasing? What illusion are you willing to release in order to reclaim your inner calm? If this message resonated with you, please like the video and share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you're letting go of and how it's transforming your life. And if you're not yet part of our community, subscribe now. We're on this journey together, learning, growing, and embracing the wisdom of Stoicism one step at a time. Share this video with someone who might need to hear this message. Together, we can spread a deeper kind of happiness, the kind that doesn't fade. Stay true to yourself. And remember, sometimes the path to happiness isn't in adding more, but in letting go.